Still a lot of noise in the stadium as they get underway. Allen leads at the moment. Good running from Pereira in the orange, third from right. But Allen begins to lead now, beginning to move away, although good running from Martinez as well. But Allen leading at the moment. Not a big gap though. Martinez coming back in and Allen wins it there. 13.22 into a little headwind there. That's unlucky. It just rose a little bit, didn't it? Minus 1.2. He did just enough. I don't really feel though, Steve, as though Devon Allen, I don't blame him, I don't feel he extended himself there through those last 3 or 4 flights. He was just doing enough, keeping it nice and steady and controlled. He knew he had them at bay. They were about a metre behind him. They'd have been within his field of vision. And I think that was Devon Allen performing on 3 cylinders almost.
Well, he hits 3 and he gives 7 a nice clatter. Watch this one coming up here. There you go. And it knocked him off balance. And I think that really meant he just finished then. He might have got closer to 13 seconds if that hadn't happened. I think he actually did quite well to stay on his feet. Good start, drives into that first hurdle. You know, he's not the tallest of 110-metre hurdlers. Could have done with the replay showing there, hurdle 7. You can see how from that point in he's stretching here. He knows that might be it there. No, it's not that one.
He was hurt
anyway,
late,
yes,
yeah.
It already happened. But you know, it just knocked him off his stride a little bit. But a good thing for him is he now knows he's at that level where he can take a slightly ragged race into step and still win, as he's done tonight.
Without any trouble, really good start there from Pereira of Brazil in the orange. Trying to get away from him at the moment is Devon Allen. Devon Allen leading this one, but not by much. Pereira's going with him. Devon Allen's going to take this one the best part of a metre. 13.16 into a very slight headwind. Well, it was a solid workmanlike performance from Devon Allen, a man who is signed for an American football team. He says he's going to split his attentions between this very, very demanding technical discipline of the 110-metre hurdles and American football. He is quick. He impressed the men watching with his 40-yard time a few months back to get the nod for an American football team. I don't think he needs to worry about his retirement from a financial perspective, but he's also going incredibly well. At the moment, easily the quickest man in the world, wins again. So it's been a very useful little trip over to Europe for him, Chris, with the US Championships next week. Of course, just days away, in fact. We will have to skedaddle straight back to, I'd imagine, straight to Eugene tomorrow.
Let's look at this start. It's significant because he was telling us and telling you today that he's reduced his strides into the first barrier from 8 to 7, and I was counting them as he did that, and he did indeed take 7 into the first barrier, but he's such a good finisher. This is where he comes into his own. He said, if I had Grant Holloway's start and my own finish together, then it would get interesting. But it's his 4th victory in a row here. I agree, a really good trip over to Europe. Victory in Oslo, and that's a victory in New York, that 12.84, which has just put him onto a different level. Martinez, a really gutsy competitor. Pereira was pushing him hard, as he did in the heat earlier today before we came on air this evening from Paris. But Allen, not completely flawless, just tapped a couple of barriers, but in the end good, into a slight headwind, and he can go back to the States feeling very, very satisfied with his last few days' work.
Well, the win there for Allen, 13.16, best part of a metre ahead of Pereira. Kawamati, a personal best, 13.27. Great running for the Frenchman. Chiquia, 13.31 in 4th.
Cunningham away smartly, so is Roberts. Parchment gets completely left by the others. Grant Holloway, though, just starting to take charge of this one now. It's Grant Holloway, and he's pulling away from the rest of them. He's showing why he is the world champion. Holloway gets it done. Cunningham, 13 flat. And Holloway continues to exert his authority on the men who are up and coming. Certainly Cunningham's one of those, but he's not to be beaten, not to be denied. In fact, it's just been taken down to 12.99, so that's his quickest run of the season. Always good to get under 13 seconds. He's struggled to do that. I say struggle, it's not a struggle. He's just hasn't produced the punchy fast times this year while he concentrated on winning that world title. I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted with that. Parchment got completely left.
Steve Holloway is so fast, left a picture in the blue shorts. He puts the others under pressure. Now, they're not looking at him, but he'll be in their range of vision. And he just keeps the pressure up.
He doesn't have a great running off the barrier. He didn't a couple of days ago when he ran in Hungary either. He won. He was beaten there in 13:12, but here he's strong enough. And he's beautiful over the barriers. Look at that, so quick with that lead leg. Snaps it down after it goes over the barrier. And that's a huge lead he has going into the final barrier. Really good running from the others off the final barrier to close him down. I mean, the place time's great. Cunningham 13:03 in second. Parchment 13:08, a season's best for the Jamaican. And Dan Roberts 13:20 in fourth place. But Holloway, yeah, supreme. Look at that focus.
The thing about Parchment, Timid, he's probably better than anyone over the last two flights. But if he's not out of the blocks, Holloway's gone. Cunningham was gone as well here. And, Cunningham did what he's been doing all season long, really consistent performance. But Holloway just got the edge at the start. Probably got between hurdle 1 and 2, just got that half a metre, kept it. Parchment was charging at season's best. He pulled out of the Commonwealth Games final as well to save himself for the Diamond League. And he's been rewarded with a decent run there, a pretty good run.
Away second this time, brilliantly out of the blocks from Grant Holloway. Up on his shoulder there is Broadbell, pushing hard. Parchment, lots of work to do. Now getting into his run against Grant Holloway, pushing away. Also going well is Cunningham in lane 3. But it's Broadbell who comes through in the end. 13 seconds dead. Broadbell, another personal best. He's taken 8/10 off his previous mark. The Commonwealth Games champion has come through and picked the pocket of the double world champion, Grant Holloway. 12:99 rounded down. It's even better than we thought it was. First time under 13 seconds. That's a landmark for Broadbell. Goodness me, what a performance.
Don't think he's noticed it yet. Actually, happy birthday, by the way, Trey Cunningham. Did you say that? You might have did. Okay, cool. Well, he's had double happy birthdays. Got second place. Yeah, this guy really impresses me, Broadbell. We were talking about him, anyone who was able to watch the Commonwealth Games, and he has just had to wait. He's had various issues and injuries and things, but he is a massive talent. And Colin Jackson, the great former world record holder, world champion, said that this guy's better than anyone over the last two flights. And just watch it here. Holloway was out in front, but Broadbell finishes so well, and he comes off that last flight of barriers so quick as well. Gets into his stride so fast. Look at him charging for the line. Cunningham gets ahead of Holloway on the lean, but under 13 for the first time. The clock stopped as he saw it, 13 flat. But as he's come back, he now knows he's a sub-13 second man.